How are you? And before you answer and give me that automated response, I'm fine, I'm doing all right, I'm doing good. I want you to really think deep and answer genuinely. How are you? How are you doing? How's your mind? You might not probably take this seriously, so let me take this off. It was just maybe an attempt to see if I could cheer you up or make you laugh or just get your attention in a way. But I really want you to answer genuinely. How are you? You see, it's been a long time you probably sat down with yourself without all the distractions and answered with sincerity how you really feel. It's easy to sweep away all of the emotions, all of the hurt, all of the things happening with life right now, and just ignore them because you're constantly trying to get to a place where you no longer have worries. But the truth with life is we're never away from worries. We'll constantly have them. But then being able to live with them, analyze them, understand them is really what gets you to be more of a person than just a conditioned version of what society seemingly calls success. You're chasing things constantly, never ending. You're constantly working, burning yourself out, and doing all the amazing things you believe you should be doing. But never for once sat down to ask yourself, am I really doing okay? Am I happy with the place I'm currently in? Do I see myself making progress? Or am I ignoring my feelings and myself because of the things I'm trying to achieve? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell you not to be ambitious. And I'm not saying you shouldn't reach for the stars either. But I genuinely want to just hear you say it exactly how you feel. Express yourself. Don't bottle up those emotions. Because the truth is, there is a cost to ignoring yourself. There is a mindset shift that needs to happen to you for you to really start to put yourself in the right place you're supposed to be. Over the past few months, I've spoken to you a number of times about several different things. And I decided to take a step back and really understand, what do you need? Not what you want. What do you need? If you would choose to answer genuinely, I am very sure that the top 5 things that you need, one of them would be rest. And if that's true with you, maybe you should take it. Maybe this is your sign to take it. And rest isn't a necessity. No, it is a part of who you. It's not about it being necessary because something necessary means you should do it or there's an option for you to do it. But if it's a part of you, if it is what happens in your life regularly, it's a non-negotiable. Have you ever thought about it that way? So I'll ask you again. How are you? I know it's very easy to answer and be very simple. I'm fine. I'm doing all right. But do you ever think about it this way? That it could be that you're trying to avoid talking about the emotional turmoil you've been in for the past few months? Do you want to hide the fact that you don't want to talk about your finances because you don't like what your bank account looks like? or you are in a toxic relationship, and the thought of it ending and being single worries you. There's so much. I know there's so much. And while I might not have a definitive direction as to where this conversation is going to, there are a few things I really want you to take note of as I lead you into something I believe would be the beginning of a change with the way you express yourself, you think about your health, your emotional health, your mental health, and all of those things. Now, nobody tells us, you and I both, nobody tells us that becoming an adult is this never ending cycle of craziness, of annoying things happening, of constantly being on your toes, having to choose between happiness and success, having to worry about bills, so many other things, so many other things. And if only we were told these things, if only we were able to understand that this is the way it's going to be, many of us are speaking to you and I now. I wouldn't want to grow up because I prefer being a teenager or just being a kid, having my parents take care of everything. But that's not the way life works. Growth is constant. Change is constant. Things happen. But then in the middle of all of these things, in the midst of all these things, is there ever a time you sit back and really check with yourself? Am I doing okay? Now, let me tell you what happens when you stop checking in with yourself. When you just keep saying, I'm fine, I'm doing okay, without ever really checking, is this really true? It's like emotional debt. I mean, if you're into finance, you would understand what financial debt is. You ignore your bills, but it doesn't just disappear. It grows, it compounds, and eventually it demands to be paid. The same thing with emotional debt. At some point, you would need to pay it. But then the stress you don't process, the feelings you don't examine, it doesn't just evaporate. That disappointment from that job you brushed off, it stays there, lingering in the back, waiting for a day of manifestation. The loneliness you told yourself wasn't a big deal, it's still there waiting. And one day, one very random day, it could be a Monday, it could be a Tuesday, maybe everything is pretty normal, you're having a really nice conversation, and someone brings up something remotely related to what you went through, and then you break down, or you explode, you lash out, and everybody starts to wonder, what is wrong with this person? At that point, you'd be almost close to a lunatic. Because out of nowhere, there was just this explosion because you keep bottling these things in and you never give yourself an exhale space. I remember years back, and I'm talking 13 years, 12, 13 years ago, anytime I get asked, Tim, how are you doing? I'll just say I'm fine. And I was still in uni. I'll just say I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. That was always the constant response. But I was going through depression. I mean, I didn't know it was depression at the time. My grades were bad. So many things happening, even though I was running a business. And I bottled these things up until my second degree. I'm talking about 3 years bottling up. And then I met a friend who happened to be a counselor, like a psychology. He studied psychology, but he became a counselor. And then we're just having a very normal chat. And he made a statement. I was like, Do you know the way you smile to people sort of shows that you have emotional baggage you've not addressed? And I'm like, emotional baggage, really? And it was like, okay, you know what? I'll ask you 4 questions. And these 4 questions, I want you to answer genuinely. It started and they said, when was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and smiled? Why would I look at myself in the mirror and smile? That was my thought. But then I was like, I can't remember. I was like, okay. Number 2, when last did someone compliment you and you said thank you? And you didn't try to tell them, I know it was just a normal. I couldn't remember. The third question said, when was the last time you bought yourself something just because you wanted it? Like treating yourself. I couldn't answer that either. And the last question said, when was the last time you cried? All of these things felt strange. But then he told me, you're broken, but you can still be redeemed because you just have a lot of emotions you bottled up and it's turning you dark. And as I'm speaking right now, it's making me remember the this new Marvel movie, Thunderbolt. You've not seen it. I won't spoil it for you. You should see it. And everything turned dark. And we spoke for 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, and I started crying. And after crying for about 12, 13 minutes, he then asked me, all right, Dimeji, now, how are you doing? And surprisingly to myself, I said, I feel light. It wasn't that I'm fine. It wasn't that I'm okay. I said, I feel light, which means I had so much things weighing me down and I never knew. And the reality of things is that becoming an adult has sort of made us very in tuned to lying. Very simple, gentle lie, not anything extravagant. Very simple lie. Lying about how you feel, lying about your finances, lying about confronting your fears, so many different things. And the ripple effect of these things is you do these things by impulse. You don't think twice, you just do it because it's become your norm. And I really hope you'll be set free today. I really hope that you'll recognize that you can't keep bottling these things in. You need an exhale. So, how do you begin to answer honestly when you've been on autopilot for so long? First is that you have to get curious about yourself again. You have to start treating yourself like someone worth checking in on. It has to be personal. Every morning or every weekend, stand in front of the mirror and ask, hey, how you doing? And here's what an honest answer might sound like. It could sound like, I'm tired. And not just sleep tired, but I'm tired of pretending that I'm okay. Or something like, I'm anxious about something I can't control and it's making me restless. Or I'm actually pretty well okay today, but I'm afraid that in the next couple of days, things will not work out. That's being honest. And the moment you speak it out loud, things start to get clearer. But the truth is, you're really fine and it's okay. Accept that. You know, just saying I'm fine. There's a lot of layers and textures to it that needs to be dug deeper into. So, how do you then express yourself with simple words? Try saying genuinely that you're tired, that you're frustrated, that you're not content, that you're worried. Just try to notice what's going on with you and make it verbal. You can also try to do a body scan. There are some days I take off my glasses and I stared really deep into the mirror and I can see that my eyes are red. And I'm like, what is making me stressed? Or it could be my back aches. What is making my back ache? I've been sitting for, say, 18 hours non-stop, just working, trying to just make money. You know? Or maybe you feel some ache in your stomach. It could be you feeling anxious, but you're not confronting it. These things are important to do. Don't ignore them. Your body tells you when you're not all right. Listen to it. So because I live in the UK, I've got to learn a lot about the weather, and which can become a very random greeting. So I'm meeting someone for the first time who is British or Scottish, and instead of normal chit chat, so that everything is not awkward, you basically talk about the weather. Oh, nice weather today. And the conversation just starts from there. And you can try the same approach with yourself. What kind of cloud is brooding inside you? Is it dark? Is it overcast? Is it bright? Is it sunny? Is it cold? Is it chilly? Is it damp? That visual representation in your head allows you to know how you're feeling, what's happening with you. So try describing your internal weather. That really helps. Well, I'm not saying you need an emotional dump, because it can be quite easy to turn maybe your partner, your friend, or anyone into an emotional dump. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying try to use the information available to you from your body to really tell what your emotional state is. Because the truth is, if you don't take care of this part of yourself, you can easily pass it on to someone else who is close to you. It could be your wife, your husband. It could be your kids, if you're, a parent. And it can even be you lashing out on those around you. And like they say, broken people break people, hurt people hurt people. And I just hope you feel better. But you need to answer honestly. How are you? Really? I should also tell you that if you're able to answer this honestly, that is real strength. And real strength doesn't mean you won't experience moments when you're down. You will. But real strength is being honest about where you are and still choose to move forward. Something like saying, I'm struggling right now, but I'm going to get through this. That is being honest, not just say, I'm fine. So, I hope you take the time to really check in with yourself today and really ask, how am I doing? And I really, really hope you give the right answer. Not just the right answer, but the honest one. I'll talk to you soon. And if you do need to talk to me or just share more about how you're feeling, feel free to drop me a message or an email. All right. Enjoy your week.